week of the marking period, weekly 2.2, and we'll continue our journey with decimals.
Yay!
Here comes my most funnest part, rounding decimals.
This is important because if you get the right answer and don't round it right, you don't get full
lose
points.
It's really sad. Like on a Regents exam, I can't tell you how many people can get the right answer and then still get it wrong
don't know how to
because
round.
you don't know how to round. So this is really important looking forward to high school too.
Yeah.
So if we're looking at, ooh, look at that, 5 easy steps for rounding.
Okay, so first we locate the place value for rounding. So if they say round to the nearest tenth, you find the tenth place first, right? Okay.
And then I like to draw a line to the right of that number.
Because that's where you have to look. Yep. Check the number to the right.
Then I check the number that comes after my line, and it will make sense in a minute when we do it. Then we have to decide if we go up or if we stay.
Right.
And lastly, you rewrite your answer. Probably should clearly mark it because that's always helpful for me to find what your actual answer is.
Yeah. It's easier for the grader.
It makes it much easier. And yeah, I think that's it.
Why don't you use those 5 steps for the first one?
Well, we need to talk a little bit about step 4 because it's always hard to decide if you're gonna round up or keep the same. And we never ever go down.
Right.
You either go up or you stay.
Right.
We never round down. That doesn't happen. So between the digits 0 and 4, you keep the same. If it's between 5 and 9, you have to round up. And there's that fun little rhyme. Do you remember it?
Well, 4, no.
No, it goes 5 or up. No. 5 or more.
Raise the score. That's it. We're good, aren't we?
4 or less, let it rest.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, I never said it. I just remember this. But I'm a math teacher. So 5 or
more, raise the score.
4 or less, let it rest.
Well, it really isn't that hard. We should be able to remember that.
Yeah. So let's look at it for an example, though. I think that will make it easier.
Okay.
So here we have example 1, which says that we should round to the nearest hundredth. And we definitely know with our little th that we should go to the right of the decimal. So there's my tenths, my hundredths, right there.
Right.
So this is my first step. I'm finding my place value that I'm rounding to.
Right.
Step 2 says, draw a line to the right of it.
Okay. So when you do that, you're kind of you're reminding yourself where you need to round to, but you're also saying that's how your final answer is going to be that long, right?
That's why I don't know, a student showed me this years ago, and I really like it.
Yeah.
I really like that this clearly marks where you're at.
And this might be your final answer, or it might be one up. As you said, it's not going to be one down. I mean,
so now I look at my digit that comes after my line I drew, which in this case is a 9. And if we look back to the last slide, 9 means go up.
5 or more,
so
raise the
we
score.
are going up 1, and my 35 becomes a 36.
Right, so the 5 raises to a 6. Okay. And that's really the only hard thing about rounding, is to remember that the 9 tells you need to go up, but the 9 doesn't go up.
No,
you come back to this digit to go up.
You're only keeping whatever's in front of the line that you drew. And then our final answer is 17.36 or 17 and 3600th.
Yes, indeed.
Very nice. Do you want to try one?
Yeah, let me see. Let me see if I can do one.
Let's look at example 2.
All right, round to the nearest tenth. So the tenths place is right here, where the 9 is, where this 9 is. And then that's the first step, to mark where we're going to round to. The second step is to make a line between that and the next place that we're going to look at, right? So this is going to be the size of our final answer.
Right.
And in this case, actually, after the step 1 is to mark the 9, step 2 is to make this division, then step 3 is to look to the right, and I'm going to see a 2. Now, the 2 tells me it's between 0 and 4, so I'm going to let it rest. So I'm just going to write rest here because Miss Marino made a nice arrow going up for go up.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you do with
so anyway,
with this one.
2 means let it rest.
Maybe we'll just leave it and not do anything, and that will tell us to just leave it.
Well, that's true. Yes, that's a good idea.
But rest is nice too. I would like some rest.
So 2 means let it rest, and that means let the 9 rest. Keep the 9. So your answer here would be 0.9, and that is rounded to the nearest tenth.
Or our answer could be 9/10. I'm really into this saying these things.
9/10.
Because we're just coming from fractions, so it works out really well that way.
That's true. That's true.
So we have 2 more examples to look at. Here is example 3. Round to the nearest 10,000s. Again, we're looking to the right because of our TH. This is going to be a tricky one.
That's a doozy.
We start here.
Yeah.
We have tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s.
Yeah, the
right
7
there.
is in the 10,000ths place.
I'm going to draw my line, and this is all the stuff I'm going to have to use as my answer. This whole thing there.
And the only thing you might change or might not change is that 7, right?
Maybe, maybe not. Well, the 5 right here tells me I have to go up. My 7 becomes an 8. I end up with 139.4928. And again, the reason this becomes an 8 is because the 5 told us to round up.
Yep. So the 5 tells you to go up, but you don't take the 5 up. You take the number that's in the corner up. Okay, cool. One more?
One more.
All right, let me try. Round to the nearest thousandth. Once again, we need to go, we're going to start at the decimal, and here is the tenths place, the hundredths place, the thousandths place, and that's the one we need, the nearest thousandth. So it's the 9 we're looking at. We're going to, for step 2, draw the line between that and the next digit. And then we're going to look to the next digit and see that it's an 8, which tells us between 5 and 9, tells us we need to go up 1. But what's going to happen when we go up 1 here?
Yeah, put a tricky one in there.
Yeah, so you can't really add 1 to a 9 easily, but if you look back at the 2 digits before to 69, if you add 1, you'll get a 70.
And that's exactly how I look at it too. I look at what is the actual number. So the actual number is, for example, 469 or 69. Then you can easily add 1.
Yeah, then you're saying, you're right, 1 up from 469 is 470. That's a good way to think of it.
Or 1 up from 69 is 70. Either way, when you have a 9 and you're raising up, you're rounding up, just remember that when you carry it over, that becomes the next, well, in this case, the hundredths that's going up. So 9 is a special case that you really want to watch out for. It's probably one of the harder ones.
Yeah, maybe when there's a 9 here in the corner of the bracket, you need to remember that this case might happen, that it's going to round up to the next one.
But it only happens with a 9, because I have seen students round things up to the next, like if they're rounding 0.37, they round to 0.40 if there is like a 9 after here, instead of going to 38.
Just a 0.38, yes, I see what you mean.
So just be careful, it only happens if there's a 9 there.
Okay.
I think that's it for weekly 2.2.